reason. Hello, everyone. I'll wait to see for a couple of people to jump on here. Hope you can't send me a voice message when I'm about to go live. I can't listen to it. Well, I will listen to it. Hold on.
You're gonna do so great. I'm so excited to watch.
So Hope says I'm gonna do great and she's excited to watch. So I will wait for a few people to get on Facebook Live. Hope's here! Hope, when you watch playback, I just listened to your voice message on here. So I told you I can't listen to it, but I did listen to it. So, thanks, Jessica. I'm a perfectionist, so timeliness, yes, for sure. I am all about that life. I was going to show you my daughter, who's even more beautiful, but my sister is helping with her right now, and she didn't take a good nap, so it could be a little bit of a not so fun time for them, but that's okay. So, while I'm waiting on a few other people, not that I don't want to just teach this to Hope and Jessica, but how are you guys today? I hope you are doing well. It was windy here in Southwest Kansas today, which isn't shocking. Just when you wait around for hours for Jordan to come live, that's funny. Yeah, I was hoping to have comments on my other computer, but oh well. Let's not make it complicated. So, it's always awkward. Like, you were productive, Hope. Way to clean your kitchen and to do all the other things ever, because that's exciting. I should have cleaned my kitchen, but I didn't. I did eat the peanut butter and Ghirardelli, whatever, dark chocolate clusters. That was awesome. I hate this, like, let me wait for a little bit. I should have been like Jordan and dabbed on some oils on my wrists and stuff. And had some music playing. Now I understand why she has all those things, so that it's not quite so awkward. So, but the playback, for sure, on Saturday evening, there's going to be lots watching, hopefully. We'll see, but... Well, I will just go ahead and jump in so that I don't take any more of your time. Everyone does seem to do live videos now. They're actually really fun and much easier than YouTube videos where you have to wait 12 years for it to upload, because apparently we're all plugged in all the time, so we can watch them. I like to listen, not watch, safety first, while I'm driving in the car, because we live in the middle of nowhere, so you have to drive everywhere. But so I will introduce myself. My name is Whitney Krieger, and I live in Greensburg, Kansas, which is in Southwest Kansas, like 2 hours west of Wichita. So for those of you who live anywhere bigger than that, you're probably like, where's that at? Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. But we are wonderful too out here. So, Southwest Kansas, here's Kansas, there's Kansas City, we are right there. I currently have a 7-month-old daughter on Monday, surprisingly. I don't know how that happened. I've been married for 7 years this year, I think. I had to think about that. Yeah, 2010, easy math. 7 years in June. I am actually a month and a half from graduating online at Berkeley College with my master's in family ministry. I would never recommend getting your master's while having a baby and moving and doing craziness, but it's worked out and it's what God wanted me to do. So getting my master's, I graduated from K-State back in 2010, and as far as my Young Living journey, I got my kit back in July and didn't even open it until Ember was 6 to 8 weeks old. She had a cold, she wasn't sleeping well, and I wasn't sleeping well because obviously mom, baby, I also didn't feel well either, and I was nursing, and one of my best friends is a pharmacist, and so I said, okay, what can I take? Hoping that there was a solution, and she said nothing, because Ember's too little, and you are nursing, and so I thought, really, this is 2016 at that point in time. I said, there's nothing that I can take to make my daughter feel better, because as a mom, like, that's the most important thing, to take care of your kids. So I remembered I had a kit. I texted Shelby, who is my phenomenal upline, very good friend now, and I said, okay, teach me, I'm ready, tell me what to do. So that was back in, I think, September or October, and I hit the ground running after that. I was so excited to have options for my baby, and then I went to a Toxins in the Home class, also put on by Shelby, and she just talked about, well, you all know, you're leaders in Young Living, so you know about toxins in the home, and it hit me that, wow, if things can get in my bloodstream in 20 seconds, my daughter's skin is more sensitive, what am I bathing her in? What am I putting on her body? What am I exposing her to? And that was really just impactful for me. And then what really sold me on Young Living, I saw their mission statement. And so living abundantly is something that I am passionate about, absolutely passionate about. I am against settling and feeling stuck where you are and just getting by. That makes no sense to me. Like, that's not how my brain functions. Abundance is what we're called to live in. And so I'll go a little bit more into that. But when I read that as the mission statement of Young Living, to have wellness and health and abundance, I was like, all right, this is it. I am in. And I was already telling like 10 people a day about it. And I wasn't even trying to do anything with it, and I thought, oh, I could make some money doing this. So in January, I'm the librarian at the Haviland Library, which is 10 miles down the road, where the college that I attend also is, and not the best money, but I can take Ember with me, and that's not why I'm doing it. But I can work on Young Living at the same time, which is amazing. So January, I hit the ground running and absolutely fell in love with the products and getting my family and friends on board to change the way that they were living and to have the toxin-free home and all of that amazingness. And then February, I was shockingly top enroller for Bethany's team, which was so exciting and unexpected. I didn't even intend for that to happen, but I was okay with it. And so now here I am, month 3, and I am 191 from hitting executive. I cannot tell you how bad I wanted it before this class, but I told Bethany, I said, it took all of my energy not to just go place an order, because I've already put my essential rewards in. I want somebody else to benefit. I know it'll happen. I have no fear, but like, being able to see how close I am drives me crazy, because once again, I'm a perfectionist. So close to executive, so excited. Yesterday, my husband gave me permission to go to a convention. So I am so excited for that. It's going to be amazing. And yes, all the thumbs up, because convention is fantastic. So that will be fun. And yeah, so that is my journey with Young Living. I am so pumped to not only supplement our family income, but be able to do so from home with first Ember and then eventually our other, 2 action steps, Jessica. I know, I've thought of those action steps all day long, but hopefully by the end of the day they will happen. And it's only the 18th, so look at that. Anyways, where was I at? Sorry. Okay, I can stay home with my kids, which is fantastic, and help supplement our income. My husband is a farmer, which year to year is so unpredictable based on the weather and the price of crops, and it takes so much time. And to see him visibly relax when I started to make an income, even if it wasn't that big, for him to be able to say, wow, you can help. You can help supplement this so there's less pressure on him. It meant the world to me to have that happen, which was awesome. So I guess I'll kind of get into why I'm doing this. Bethany was so gracious. So for my family ministry major, my class right now is Ministry of Community. And for our final project, we have to teach our personal model of health So whatever health means to us for community to a group. So when I started really thinking about Young Living as a business and I started growing a team, it hit me that I have a built-in family, a built-in community to minister to now because of the people that I enroll and the leaders under me and above me and next to me. I mean, Hope's become one of my really good friends, ironically, because we haven't even met yet. But just having that community around me, supporting and loving and growing with, that I can pour into and that can pour into me, it just made sense that, oh, I want my audience to be these people. I want my audience for health and community to be the people who have these communities with them too. So Bethany graciously let me use this group of leaders to be the community that I am teaching this to. So that's why I'm doing this. I have 1 week left in this class and then just my final project, and I graduate May 7th. I'm so excited. Get my hood for master's. Pretty excited for that. So what I want to talk to you about in this class is how to minister to your teams and families that join your team within Young Living and how to do it well. Because we have a unique opportunity, as I already mentioned. You know, as a leader in Young Living, this isn't about selling. You're not selling a product. You're not selling a kit. You are inspiring a lifestyle. So this isn't just even about oils. It's about health. Most people who get involved with oils, they have something wrong. I mean, be it they realize something's wrong with the junk that's in everything that we use. Sorry, I'm trying to there we go. Or it's a specific problem, or maybe it is financial and you're really trying to, hi Sarah, thank you. Maybe you're trying to really help your family be able to get out of debt or be able to stay home with your kids. Goodness, stay home with your kids. Nobody else can raise them like you can. Maybe it's to be able to support missions and ministry for other people. Maybe it's to let your spouse retire, to have freedom. Freedom changes everything. Whatever the reason is, you are doing this for a purpose, and you have a team that you are leading. So being in this group, that means you have enrolled other people, and you have a team. And you have these people that you have to take care of. And Bethany last night in her live video was talking about how she had that opportunity to take care of these people and to have the responsibility to not only make sure that they're using their Young Living products, but also be a part of their life. So basically, I want to talk about how to do this well. So how to minister to your teams. And in this class, we've read different books and conversed with each other. There's 10 people in my cohort. We've come to love each other and are in different stages of life. So we've got a single girl who is in her 20s, starting out on life, myself and a couple others who are young married. There's the middle-aged married who have kids now in junior high. There's an older gentleman who is a grandpa and he has a business in his town. So we've gotten to really talk to each other, which is kind of like our group. Everyone's in different stages of life. Everyone's in different areas of the country, in different places of business, what have you. So as we were conversing, a few things really came to mind to be the top things that will help us minister to our teams well. So first is prayer. Prayer. It covers everything. Not only praying for your business, but praying for your team, praying for your own impact in life and the divine encounters that come across your path, praying for safety and security, obviously, not only for your family, but for those involved with you in this business. One thing that Shelby and I started doing last month, because I realized if I'm going to do this, I want to do this right, we started a first Monday of the month prayer meeting. So at 5:15 at the library, Shelby lives 2 blocks from the library, across from the coffee shop. Best setup ever. We can chat, her kids play, we get coffee, energized, oily goodness. So first Monday of the month, she comes down at 5:15 and we pray together. We ask ahead of time for the team, our team's prayer requests. which it hit me this month as I finally have a team. I have about 30 of my team, and I texted them all, called them up and said, hey, do you have any prayer requests? I'm just praying for you. And it had dual responses. So not only did I get a window into their lives because they were like, wow, that's amazing. Yes, please pray for this. I found out things I didn't know and got to know my team better. But I also found out ways that they can use oils, because I had no idea that some of them had anxiety or were struggling with chronic back pain or had a surgery coming up. And in my head, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's your Essential Rewards order next month. But it allowed me to see into their lives, allowed me to know how to better serve them and to pray for them. And we looked at February's prayers that had been answered at our March prayer meeting, and it was phenomenal. God is so faithful when we come to Him in prayer. So, the next thing that you do, first is prayer. 2, you have to take care of yourself first. We cannot pour from empty cups. So, in 2015, my life pretty much crashed and burned. Just had some really, really hard things happen, had a lot of important things stripped from me. I had a miscarriage that fall and lost my grandpa, and then stepped down from a position that I absolutely loved at Youth for Christ for various reasons, and I found myself literally at rock bottom. Like, if you can't tell, I'm a pretty positive person, upgoing, uplifting, encouraging. That's kind of who I am, and I literally, couldn't get through the day without being in tears and a heap on the floor. I repeatedly said I didn't want to be myself for a couple of days or longer than that, but it was just a really bad time. And I could not pour out to anybody. I was in full-time ministry at that point. I was running a mentoring program, and I could not function, let alone help others in any capacity. And I wasn't being a good wife, I wasn't being a good friend, a good family member, and so I realized I had to take care of myself. And that started happening at that point. And it's so cool to look forward, look backwards after you've moved past something to see how God moves you through it. So I never would have been at the library, I never would have been involved with Young Living had I not been forced basically to step away from those other things, and I could rebuild from the ground up. But we have to take care of ourselves. So the way that God helped me take care of myself, I got involved with the master's program, and here's the funny thing that happened. So life falling apart, I was in the class Ministry of Self. Next semester, putting life back together, Ministry of Marriage. Next semester, I have my baby August 20th, class starts October 6th, Ministry of Family. January, I start Young Living. What class am I in? Ministry of Community. I mean, I could not have even put that together myself if I had tried. And I'm a planner. God does have a sense of humor, Hope. He was basically like, oh, you're not going to figure your life out? Well, I'll do it for you. Here's master's program. Go ahead and get on in there. And so now here I am. I was like, oh, I don't know why I'm in this master's program. When people would ask me until this semester, I'd say, we're going to see how God uses it. Hello, Young Living. Hello, team. Oh, that's funny. This is how it's going to be used. But back to the point of taking care of yourself. You cannot pour out of an empty cup. And I know we can feel guilty, especially as moms. Taking care of ourselves makes us feel guilty because we think, well, there's tiny people who need us, and there's a husband who needs us, and there's other people, and maybe you've never done anything for yourself. And I'm not saying go to the spa all the time or to get a master's degree, whatever, but you have got to take time to center yourself every single day. Whether, if you're a Christian, if it's in the Word, if it's in your daily devotions, if it's in learning, whatever that looks like for you, if it's meditation, if it's yoga, if it's reading self-help books, you have got to take care of yourself. And I won't say all of them here, but if you are interested in some more resources, like I said, I was in Ministry of Self and of Marriage, so I have tons of books and different websites, different authors, things to suggest to you. So you can send me a message later and say, hey, I'm floundering. There's no shame in that. I can talk to you, hook you up with some good resources there, and help you take care of yourself. So the third way that we can minister well to our teams: first, prayer; 2, take care of yourself; 3 is through connecting. So the main book that I want to suggest to you all that you absolutely need is called Connecting, ironically, by Larry Crabb. And he is actually a Christian psychologist and has written so many amazing books and resources, but this book was completely different than anything he had written before. So he basically said there is a time and place for psychology, but it's not really necessary, which I'm sure you can see how well that went over in the community that he was in by people who were making their living in psychology counseling. But what he was basically saying, and get this, if you get anything else, get this, because it's amazing. So he says that you don't need a degree, you don't need a certificate in counseling or psychology or anything like that. You don't need that, because, here's the catch, we each have the power of the Holy Spirit in us that can be released to help others. Because if you think about it, back in Christ's time on earth, who had a psychology degree? Nobody. I mean, it didn't even exist. The hearts and the thumbs up were flying. You didn't need to read more books. You didn't necessarily need to have that next degree or those credentials. We have the power in us. And when we convince ourselves that we don't, we are limiting our impact. We're limiting our impact. Because we each have our own stories and our own capabilities, and love, our ability to love, goes so far for helping other people. So we have the power in us to be released to help other people. So within Young Living, you are constantly prospecting. So instead of thinking of prospects as people to join your team, see them. That's what I really want to get across. See these people. See into their lives. All of these people have families, they have jobs, they have issues, and I'm not even talking health issues. I'm talking terrible, dark, dirty, hurtful things that they are going through that they might be suffering on their own, because our society likes to disconnect and our enemy likes to isolate us and make sure that we are fighting by ourselves. And so you can see into the lives of these people, and maybe they've never had somebody come alongside them and say, listen, yes, I have Young Living, but I want to love you, and I want to walk with you, and I want to care about you and see you and minister to whatever you have going on. And that is what I want to do for my team. I want to see them and help them live abundantly. So I would highly recommend that book, The Connecting book. It talks about how to release that power into others' lives. I would absolutely love, this is kind of how I see my niche in Young Living, is ministering to leaders and those who help with their teams. So helping other leaders learn how to do this with their team and to love them well and to see them well and to help them walk through life's challenges together. But get that book, Connecting by Larry Crabb, definitely. So this leads into my fourth thought. So first, how to minister to your teams, prayer, taking care of yourself, number 2, 3, connecting and seeing the people that you come across, even if they don't join your team, seeing people in your life. And then 4th, abundance. I love this word so much. Not only is it in the mission statement of Young Living, but it is in one of my favorite verses. So I talked a little bit about the enemy. And in these classes that we've been in, we were in Ministry of Family last semester that I talked about. And you don't have to go far. Look around you. Families are absolutely in crisis. They are divorcing, and I'm not saying anything against that at all. I mean, I'm at my sister's right now, and she went through a divorce last year. And families are in crisis. There's kids that are walking away from Christ, and there are marriages being broken up. There's family issues. There are so many challenges that people are going through with depression and anxiety and suicidal tendencies, and I mean, you name it, it's happening. And this isn't like over there in that city. This is next door. I mean, this is your neighbor. This is your granddaughter. This is your cousin, your niece, whoever it is. People are in crisis. And do you know why that is the case? Because Satan loves to destroy, he loves to divide, and he loves to distract. Because if he does that, we are not able to be released into our calling. We are not able to fully live out our abilities and our skills and our talents and our gifts. If he can distract us and if he can destroy us, then that power stays contained and it is not released into the lives of those around us. So when areas of our life suffer, everything suffers. And you know that. You've seen that. Because my personal model of health as I went through Ministry of Self and Ministry of Family and Ministry of Marriage has been holistic health. So mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. All of those working together. Because if you're suffering physically, you gotta know you're not going to be able to be mentally sound. And if you're suffering spiritually, you're not going to be able to be there for your family physically like you want to. So all of those work together. So one of my favorite verses is John 10:10. And it says, the thief comes, so it's talking about the enemy, Satan, says, the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy. And we have all dealt with that. I'm not saying every bad thing that happens is the enemy attacking us. I mean, we live in a fallen world. Car wrecks happen. That doesn't mean that it was ordained to happen, whatever. But there are specific things that happen to steal, kill, and destroy from the enemy. But that's not where it ends. It says, I have come, so talking about Christ, I have come that they might have life, and not just life, but that they might have it abundantly. And this gives me chills. And I'm not talking prosperity gospel. I don't think everyone on earth is supposed to have $1 billion because people would abuse it. I don't think that it means you pray for that Cadillac Escalade and you're going to get it. That's not the type of abundance I'm talking about. I am talking about day-to-day vibrant living. Living alive. Living in a way that impacts other people. Living in a way that you are filled with joy regardless of your circumstance. Regardless of your circumstance. Because things happen. Crap happens. It does. And it is hard and it is dirty and disgusting and we don't want to deal with it. But it happens. So choosing how you're going to respond to that and knowing that, yeah, there is a thief that comes, but praise God, somebody else came that we can live abundantly. And it just gives me chills and makes me tear up to think about it because my team, it's going to make me emotional. My very best friend, I prayed for him for 10 years. And to get that message that said, guess what I just did? I gave my life to Christ. Best thing I've ever seen, ever. His wife is one of my leg ones. And they, I hope they're okay with me saying this, sorry if not. But they struggle. They struggle financially. They struggle just in general. And nothing that they've done. It's just month to month, paycheck to paycheck, and I want them to live abundantly because I know them and I want them to be released to bless other people. And that's why I put her my leg one. She's in nursing school and they've got 3 little ones and it's hard, but when she is released into that, man, I'm so excited. And she keeps apologizing. I'm like, I put 5 people under you today. And she's like, I'm sorry, I haven't done anything. I said, I don't care. I want to do this with you. When you are ready, we are going to run full speed. You are going to be released. You are going to be free. And you're going to be able to be living abundantly. Yes, through Young Living. But beyond that, through the freedom that Christ is able to give to live abundantly. So families, marriages, households, that's what your team represents. They are people that are connected to a whole system that if you help them seek abundance through oils, through the financial side, through getting released from these issues that have plagued them forever, if you release them, think about the change that is going to happen in their marriages, being able to love each other well and respect one another and be there fully, for their families to be able to retire and go home and raise them themselves. Not that there's not fantastic daycares in school systems, but to be there, to see it, to be there with your family. The extended family that's going to be impacted, because they're going to tell them and they're going to see and say, wow, you used to be a bummer to be around and you were struggling. What changed? And they can say, this is what happened and this is what changed in my life, which is amazing. So it's not just PV. It's not just a rank. It's not just a member number. These are people. These are people with lives and networks of connections that need to be living abundantly, which I am so excited to be a part of. And I feel, Bethany always says, don't you feel like you're made to do this? I feel like I was made to do this. My mom today, she told me, she said, now it's going to pay off that you have 9,000 friends, because I have a ton of friends that I just love people. I have since day one, 3 years old, making friends everywhere I went, and it is paying off now. This is like the best thing for that type of a lifestyle. So I'm so excited for this. So not only did God give us our talents and our skills and our connections, but He's given us these resources that Gary Young has helped create in these plants. Like, why wouldn't God put us on this planet with the resources we needed to live abundantly? Why wouldn't He? He did. And we have access to those that we can help others tap into, which is amazing. So I'm close to my 30-minute. I kind of gave myself a time limit. I also am going on a hot date with my hubby and my baby here in about 15 minutes. So got to get ready for that. But what I want to wrap up all of this saying, so we're talking about how to minister to your teams and families in your team well through prayer, taking care of yourself, can't pour from an empty cup, connecting and seeing people, living abundantly and helping others live abundantly. And one of the ways that we do this is by supporting each other. So I am flippin' excited. Bethany is so close to diamond. Like, so close to diamond, which is insane. Because I'm thinking like, oh, platinum, that's awesome. I mean, I'm getting into this. But she's like right there. And was talking to me the other day and was like, I don't know how to tell people about this. Like, I don't want it to be selfish. And I don't see any selfishness. If you think Bethany is selfish, you've got something wrong with you. Because this woman pours out to her team. And that's us. We benefit in knowledge and education and love. I love getting those packages in the mail with her glittery gold and all of her handwritten notes and fun things like that. That's love. I mean, that's not selfish at all. But anyways, she is so close to diamond. So when we were talking about me doing this, she said for the action steps, whatever you call them, action points, that she only needs 1,000. It's the 18th, okay? That is 12 days. There are 300 some leaders in this group. So if you divide that up, that's 3 per person. 3! And that's not even like enrollments. That's just 300 PV added to each of our groups to help her hit diamond. What in the world? And you know she's going to be a good steward of that paycheck. You know she's going to be a good steward of those 1,000 extra on our team. But what I want you to see is that that is not 1,000 PV. Those are 1,000 families. Those are 1,000 households that are going to be changed by joining this team. That's amazing. Yes, it is happening, Hope. So amazing. And Jessica, your goal is already 3, divine intervention. What in the world, right? And I'll just say this. I'm not saying this from arrogance. 3, whatever. I'm totally like tripling, quadrupling that. So I'll pick up if somebody else can't get there. I don't know. There's a lot left in this month. So yeah, Jessica, you are rocking it too, which is amazing. I think I saw you just hit 1,000. Well, let's make that 1,500. Let's make that 2,000 and help Bethany hit her diamond, because we are a team. We are blessed to be in this together and helping others run for abundance. So I appreciate all of you sticking this out with me, watching this video, listening to what I had to say, and for helping me finish my class. So that's exciting. But I am passionate about helping others live abundantly. And this company is amazing. I keep thinking, like, what's the catch? Am I going to see a catch? But everything I see about it, there's integrity, there is honesty, there is vibrancy, and it's so incredible. And it's not just about the oils. I've barely mentioned oils in this class, what have you, this live video. It is so much more than that, because it is about people, seeing them, loving them, and helping them strive toward health, wellness, and abundance. And that is a train I can hop on board. So that is what I wanted to leave you with. Ministering well to your leaders, praying, taking care of yourself, connecting and seeing, living in abundance. Do not let the enemy steal your joy. So if you are interested in any other resources, I mentioned a couple. That Connecting Larry Crabb book, I might be able to put some links in the description of the video. But send me a message. I'm more than happy to help you get plugged into those things. Drive across Kansas like Hope is next week. Come visit me. We live in the middle of nowhere. See me at convention. So excited for convention. But let's help our sister hit diamond this month. Bethany Shipley, you got it, girl. Diamonds all over. So exciting. So I will leave you with that. Got a hot date. I hear my baby crying downstairs. Thank you so much for those who watch live, but also for those who are going to tune in later. I love you. I am so excited to be in this with you. And are you by Ula? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, Iola. I'm not very far from Iola. One of my teammates just joined from Iola. So I think it's like an hour and a half. Anyways, sorry. Beside the point, Jessica. We can talk later. So, love you all. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. And I cannot wait. Tell me how you start living abundantly by taking care of yourself, how you see others and help them start living abundantly, because that is what life is all about. Peace out. Have a good weekend. I like you people.